Welcome, family! In today's video, we will join Igor on an all-terrain motorbike. As you see, this project starts with careful groundwork and a very clear mechanical philosophy. The objective is to build a robust, all-terrain machine using simple yet powerful materials that can endure challenging conditions. At the very beginning, Igor selects a worn but serviceable car tire and rim to form the base of the rear wheel. This is because he knows that automotive tires offer a significantly larger footprint. Also, they have much-needed weight distribution and superior traction for off-road use compared to standard motorcycle tires. He begins by inserting a thick steel tube into the center hub of the rim, effectively laying the foundation for a custom axle housing. This steel tube is critical because it will later allow for a solid mounting interface between the wheel and the motorbike's future frame. Once the base is in place, Igor carefully attaches a salvage gearbox to the wheel's center using precise mechanical fastening. This gearbox reduces the engine's output speed while boosting torque. In this sense, it will ensure that the final motorbike will move deliberately and powerfully rather than spinning out on soft ground. Meticulous fitting and torquing procedures guarantee that the reducer is securely attached. As you see, Igor customizes smaller parts where necessary, even fabricating brackets to ensure perfect mechanical alignment. The front wheel is crafted from another car rim and tire assembly. He carefully balances it first by manually removing any deformation from the rim. This way, he can ensure that it spins perfectly true against a visual reference tool. Once the rim is adequately prepared and repainted, Igor installs bearings and hubs into the center. For additional strength and adaptation to the bike frame, Igor fabricates custom bent steel tubes. He uses a manual tube bender enhanced with gears for mechanical advantage and heat application. He does so via a torch to facilitate bending without collapsing the tube walls. This way, he guarantees clean, strong curves that will handle the bike's forces during use. The tubing is then welded onto the front wheel hub, forming a strong front axle system. Notably, Igor incorporates a heavy-duty suspension system at this stage. After cutting precise brackets with an angle grinder, he installs a robust coilover shock absorber directly connected to the frame and the new front wheel assembly. This shock absorber is essential because the front wheel must also handle steering loads and absorb impacts directly. The shock's mechanical strength and positioning reflect careful engineering to absorb vertical shocks. For the handlebar mount and steering linkage, he repurposes steel rods and shapes them carefully to fit around the frame and wheels. The rods are bent manually with the assistance of mechanical jigs and heated to prevent cracking. He pays special attention to ensuring that the handlebar's alignment is mechanically correct for a smooth steering response. Welded brackets, and reinforced gussets are then added at strategic points on the frame to connect the handlebars and front forks. At each weld joint, Igor checks for squareness and strength, reinforcing areas where torsional stress could later cause fatigue. Once the main connections are fabricated, Igor assembles the entire front steering linkage. As we see, both the shock absorbers and the steering system are robust enough to handle any challenging driving condition. Still, there is a lot of work to do, as, at this point, Igor will have to tackle the engine. Once the gearbox is seated and bolted in place, Igor fabricates the connection between the gearbox output and the rear wheel. This connection is achieved through a carefully built drive shaft system utilizing universal joints. The U-joints are cleaned, cut, and welded onto custom shafts that Igor measures and fits with surgical precision. The fabrication of the power transfer system also includes the creation of custom couplers and adapters. Every weld is methodically performed and cleaned afterward to eliminate stress points that could later lead to mechanical failure. With the gearbox, drive shaft, and rear wheel now united into a coherent transmission system. In this phase, Igor's philosophy of mechanical simplicity and brute durability becomes even more evident. The heavy materials and allowance for minor articulation mean that the motorbike sacrifices lightness for indestructibility. Aerodynamics remain an afterthought, as the focus stays squarely on ensuring that every bit of engine power reaches the ground reliably. Then, Igor's all-terrain motorbike project continues to evolve through an incredibly meticulous, deliberate construction process. After completing the heavy-duty frame, the rugged wheels, the robust drivetrain, and the resilient steering system, Igor moves on to what will serve as the heart of the machine, the engine. He selects a small industrial gasoline engine, similar to those commonly found in generators or agricultural equipment. These are known for their reliability, abundant torque at low RPMs, and ease of maintenance. But before installing it into the frame, Igor must prepare it to integrate seamlessly with his custom-built transmission system. First, he fabricates a custom mounting adapter for the engine output shaft. This adapter allows the relatively small engine shaft to connect securely to a much larger mechanical system. Once the adapter is complete, Igor mounts it onto the engine shaft. Assembling and checking the alignment several times to guarantee perfect concentricity. The next step involves reinforcing the engine block itself with a custom steel housing. This extra stage further conditions the engine's power output, ensuring that rotational forces are delivered smoothly to the drivetrain. Igor then reinforces the entire assembly with multiple long bolts passing through the custom adapter. This process ensures that the engine's vibrations and mechanical forces are evenly distributed. Once fully assembled, the motor with its custom coupling system is installed onto the motorbike's main frame. Next, Igor connects the engine's output shaft to the drive shaft system he previously built. Here, The custom splined adapters and heavy-duty universal joints come into play. He tightens the connections carefully, using lock nuts and welding where needed, creating a permanent bond. Then, understanding that a rigid seat on an all-terrain motorbike would lead to punishing vibrations and severe rider fatigue, he designs a custom solution from scratch, integrating mechanical resilience with simplicity. First, Igor finalizes the basic seat frame by welding a strong subframe structure onto the main chassis. To create the suspension mechanism, Igor fabricates mounting brackets by cutting and drilling square tubing. He carefully shapes and welds a set of brackets directly onto the seat support and the main frame. The shocks themselves are salvaged and repurposed and carefully mounted at an angle that balances comfort with controlled stiffness. This way, the suspension doesn't bottom out easily, but still offers enough travel to protect the rider's spine during hard impacts. Reinstallation of the tire requires both physical effort and finesse. Igor uses a set of metal levers and a mallet to press the rubber bead over the lip of the steel wheel. The success of this stage ensures a proper seal, critical to maintaining tire pressure and achieving reliable off-road performance. Once the surface is ready, Igor may apply a metal primer, which serves as a barrier against oxidation. After the primer has cured, he proceeds to coat the frame with a durable top coat, likely an enamel or polyurethane-based paint. After painting and protecting the frame, Igor proceeds to reassemble the all-terrain motorbike with precision. The process begins by carefully mounting the wheels onto the front and rear axles of the newly painted chassis. These wheels, previously prepped, balanced, and painted red, are aligned within the frame's dropouts. He uses heavy-duty axles and bolted securely to ensure lateral stability and shock absorption during off-road travel. Igor ensures that all rotational components spin freely without lateral play, which would indicate misalignment or uneven torque. With the wheels and suspension in place, Igor installs the drivetrain. The gearbox, already bolted to the rear wheel hub, is reconnected to the central drive shaft and U-joint assembly. Then, the engine system is carefully mounted using the previously welded support brackets on the lower chassis. Rubber bushings or washers may be inserted between the engine and frame to reduce vibrations. The engine's output shaft is aligned with the gearbox input, and any custom couplers or flanges are secured using bolts. The frame of the basket was welded into a rectangular shape, progressively reinforced by horizontal rods for structural integrity. The basket was then painted in the same black protective coating and mounted to the front of the motorcycle using durable brackets. The finished result was a sturdy, visually cohesive motorcycle with practical enhancements like cargo capacity. Unlike typical builds where cargo space is either an afterthought or entirely absent. This basket was specifically designed and fabricated from steel rods to provide a lightweight storage solution. Its square design allowed for secure placement of boxes, bags, or tools. This utilitarian enhancement seamlessly integrated into the visual identity of the motorcycle, was matched by ergonomic considerations. This is a spring-loaded seat for comfort during extended rides, well-positioned handlebars for easy handling. The final test ride doesn't just confirm that the mechanics work. It symbolizes the moment the project transcends from a workshop build to a living, moving creation. The motor hums smoothly, the reinforced frame holds steady over bumps, and the basket gently carries its first load. What began as an assortment of discarded parts and raw materials is now a fully functional vehicle. Designed to thrive in conditions where most standard vehicles would falter. Its wide, durable tires offer impressive traction on soft forest floors and muddy terrain. The frame's reinforced geometry and low center of gravity ensure balance when navigating uneven ground or tree-littered trails. But perhaps the true testament to its utility lies in its performance in snowy environments. The torque-rich engine delivers consistent power and the specially designed drivetrain and gear ratio allow the bike to push through thick snowbanks and icy patches without slipping or stalling. It is this dual terrain capability, effortlessly switching from forest floor to snowy trail, that marks the triumph of the project. As we see, Igor's project is not only meant to be a hand-built motorbike. It's an all-season tool crafted with foresight, built to move where others can't, and destined to last where others rust and fail.